Hello, everybody. I feel bad that it was me now who stopped the discussions during the coffee break. So I'm Richard Fellner, I'm the CEO of Nowcast. I'm now at this event for several years, and every year for me this is a highlight with all the business trips around the year. This is really a highlight, as I really do love to come to this region. I love the area, I love the food, I love the wine, the people, and Africa for Nowcast is a key focus area, as there is a lot of demand for high precision lightning detection. And this actually is a topic we are discussing as usual. And this year, when I was listening to the previous discussion, I will put a lot of emphasis on the topic of generating income, as high precision lightning data networks is a very, very good source to generate income. So this slide I have already shown in previous years. This is just to set up the scene, and I'm pretty sure you all will agree that thunderstorms, that lightning strikes causes a lot of trouble, a lot of fatalities, a lot of disturbances, a lot of costs. And it is a matter of fact that the majority of the severe weather events are coming together with a thunderstorm. This means if you are informed about the thunderstorm situation of the whole country, and a lightning detection network is an easy method to cover the whole country without gaps, then you know about the weather situation in the country. And the WMO is saying that due to weather-related events, 40,000 people every year unfortunately lose their life, and thereof it's in average about 23 to 25,000 people every year who die only due to lightning strikes. So this is much more people than due to tornadoes or hurricanes, even in the press. This is much more discussed, but what we have all over the globe in fatalities due to lightning strikes, this is a very, very sad number. As mentioned, it's around 23 to 25,000 people. So this is a very big risk. This is a very important topic to provide the services to the public in the countries to save their lives. But in addition to that, there is a huge, very huge financial loss caused by thunderstorms. It's of course damage on the assets, but it is also disturbance of the operations. An airport is forced by international regulations to stop the ground handling when there is thunderstorms overhead the airport. This is international regulations. The airlines, I saw statistics, it was also WMO in the US, in average, every plane is hit at least once per year by a lightning strike. Yeah, the planes are not falling from heaven, but a plane who was hit by a lightning strike needs to be taken out of service and gets into inspection, whether there is a damage. Sometimes there are bigger damages, sometimes it's okay, but they have to put it into inspection. This is a huge amount of money, what this costs. 30 to 50% of the outages of the high voltage transmission lines is due to lightning strikes. Renewable energy, the wind farms, are very much affected by lightning strikes. Mines have to stop the operations to protect the people, and they need to make sure that there is no explosive material outside when a thunderstorm is approaching the area, as there had been already catastrophic events in some cases when a lightning strike at the mine was hitting this explosive material. So there are so many operations which are really heavily impacted by thunderstorms. The good side is that there is technology which to some extent helps to mitigate the risk due to severe weather, due to thunderstorms. This is again a statistics from the WMO, who said the number of severe weather events has increased significantly, but in the same time the number of fatalities luckily has decreased. And this is to some extent due to education, due to communication, but also due to technology, as the technology gives you the overview of what's going on and gives you the pre-warning. This picture is too small. We should have a look on a bigger picture where we track the movement of the thunderstorm. So it works very precisely for the next up to 60 minutes to give you the estimated time of arrival when the thunderstorm will reach a certain area. And this is basically newly calculated with each and every lightning strike, so that you see immediately, is the thunderstorm getting stronger, faster, is it maybe disappearing, or is it deviating? So you can give very high precise pre-warnings when a thunderstorm will reach an event site, a sports stadium, an airport, or a mine, or any other site of interest. And the important topic for today's discussion is that it's a relevant source of revenue. I mentioned already how many businesses are affected by this. And for those businesses, the lightning data have a huge value. And I know this for sure, as we are running own lightning detection networks in Europe, in the US, in Australia. We run networks together with partners in South Africa, in Colombia, in Peru. And we make really good money with selling the lightning data to these sectors. An airport is willing to pay really good money. We have cases in Europe where the airport gets lightning information from the National Weather Service, that we can provide better pre-warnings, we can provide more precise warnings, and they pay really good money in addition to the data what they already have for this high quality information. As the better the quality of the lightning data is, the better you can time the ground handling stop. And there are statistics, so the difference whether you have a kilometer accuracy of the lightning detection versus 100 meter, there is around 10 to 15 minutes what you can save in ground handling stop due to the precision. And now you can imagine what a minute ground handling stop for an international airport costs. Similar business cases for the airlines when they can plan their flights accordingly. A minute of a jet of an Airbus or so is $200 to $300 per minute. So if you can avoid a deviation to another location, if you can avoid holding patterns, there is a lot of money behind. For the energy companies, I said 30 to 50% of the outages are due to lightning strikes. What are they doing? They are correlating the network situation, so when there is an outage of the high voltage lines, with the lightning data. If it is clearly caused by lightning, they immediately switch it on again. They do not do any service activities as they usually do by an outage, and with this they increase the availability. In addition, in some countries, the energy company needs to ensure an availability, otherwise they have to pay fines to the regulator, to the government, unless they can prove the outage was caused by weather. I like to tell the examples always from Malaysia, Sarawak Island. As the National Weather Service in Malaysia was not able to provide high quality lightning detection information, the energy company has bought an own lightning detection network. They have invested many hundreds of thousands of dollars in an own lightning detection network as they couldn't get information from the Met Service. So you see what value this information has for an energy company, how much money they are willing to pay for this. Renewables. Nowadays, as the costs were going out significantly, for a wind farm, when a rotor blade is damaged, the companies calculate now for the big rotor blades up to $1 million of cost. The cost for the blade, the cost for the transportation, the loss as the windmill is out of service for several times. So for one blade exchange, they calculate up to $1 million. And then there is always a big discussion between the vendor of the wind farm, the operator, and the insurance, as the wind farms should be able, according to the specification, to stand weaker lightning strikes, but not all of them and not too many. So there is always a game between insurance, vendor, and operator. Therefore, they all have lightning data. Sometimes they do, or many of the companies do, inspection. If there is lightning strikes close to the wind farm, they do an inspection. If they see the damage right in time, they can repair it. If they do not see it, the damage gets much bigger. And now you can imagine, if they only save one plate, the fees for getting the lighting data are paid off for an unlimited number of years. And there are many, many more use cases. And when I remember the discussion which was happening before, there was a bit of debate there that the weather service is financed by tax. We have the obligation to give the data free of charge to the public. How can I charge then the private sector? It's not the same products. It's not the same product what the public gets, rather what the energy company gets. If the energy company gets the raw data, which they integrate into their SCADA systems to have it automatically correlated, this is something different to the products for the aviation. So this is not conflicting, that you give the data free of charge to the public. Products for the businesses are different ones, and we have these products. And of course, if you buy such a network, if you install such a network, you get these products and you can monetize it. And we are more than happy to help you with our experiences. As I said, we are selling the data.
Okay.
Thank you. We are selling the data by ourselves. We have experience in how to do this, and more than happy to engage with you to do it together. And there are different models how to do this. Very briefly, what do I think is important when installing a lightning detection network? It's about the quality. As I said, a lightning detection network easily can cover the whole country. Of course, we can discuss about the type of the country, if we need the perfect quality each and everywhere, or if we have desert areas or so, where we can extend the distance between the sensors. The location accuracy and the efficiency matters depending on the application. If you work with insurance companies, and insurance companies are very well paying customers for this, the quality needs to be as such that they are absolutely sure, if they reject the case, that nobody can bring a proof that this was a false assessment. So yeah, the quality, the sensitivity is extremely important. The accuracy is extremely important, as I mentioned, for the airport. It's about 10 to 15 minutes, the difference for the ground handling stop, with very high precise data or less precise data. From the technology, we know that it's very important that the ongoing costs, especially in areas like in Africa, must not be too high, as there is very often this one-off funding from international funding organizations, but the ongoing service fees are a critical issue. Therefore, we have made sure that there is no regular maintenance, that all the updates can be done remotely. And a topic which is very important for me, we never ever have taken sensors out of service and forced the customer to renew the network. We have sensors out there in the networks which are 20 years old, and they are still supported by the latest generation of software and fully compatible with the new sensors. So we really try to have the ongoing costs for our networks as low as possible. And the operation of a lightning detection network is easy. There is no big understanding of the background, of meteorological background needed. As you see the lightning strikes, and the lightning strike is a lightning strike, there is no interpretation needed. For us, it's important to show also the altitude of the intercloud lightning information, as this gives a lot of insight about the severity of the thunderstorm. For instance, if there is an immediate increase in the altitude of the intercloud lightning strikes, this is a strong indicator for a so-called core cell, which creates a lot of severe weather events, in some areas hail. Like in Germany, the insurance company of Toyota is using this to warn their car dealers that there is a high risk of hail, and ask them, hey, take measures as far as you can. For instance, if you have the very expensive cars outside, bring them in and take measures. So the last slide, is basically the question how to bring such a network into the country. And there we need to sit together, as we have different possibilities. Normal way is we sell a network to the meteorological service, including the servers, and you own the network, you own the data, it's all yours. Sometimes we sell the network, but we do the data processing in our data center, highly protected, available 24/7, so to relieve you of this task. We have cases where we run together the network with local partners, as I mentioned. So far, I only have done this with private companies. I sold the network for a relatively low price to the private partner. They take care about the local part, installation, selling, we help in selling, we do the data processing, and we share the revenue. This is done with private companies so far, but there is nothing which would hinder us to do exactly the same with a national meteorological service. We also have data available for the whole globe from our global network. The precision is not the same. There we are in this kilometer range rather than the 100 meter, but this can be an entry strategy. This can be also in some cases a mixture that we have a local high precision network in the highly populated areas where you have the international airports, where you have the operations, and more the desert areas are covered with the available global network. So there are many possibilities how to bring the technology in the country and how to work together. So we should sit together. I would be more than happy if we can have one-on-one discussions about going a bit deeper into the use cases, into the business cases for the end customers, and also about the possibilities to how to bring the network into the country. Well, for the sake of time, no long summary, only very briefly. So high precision lighting data help you to save the life of the people, to inform the public, to understand the weather in the country, and you have a very good source for generating revenue, as this is a tremendously important value information for the private companies. Good. Then, thank you very much for your attention, and as said, I would be more than happy if we have the chance to sit together on individual discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Richard. I'd like to invite Eric up to the stage now.